Good evening, guys. Welcome to Cambridge Veritas. This is Krish. This is going to be a very interesting lesson because in this lesson, we're going to be looking at a concept that a component of the IELTS exam that so many students have so many problems with. And the worst part is that you do not have a fixed rule for it because it is so much varied. I'm talking about grammar in case you're getting confused. Today's lesson is all about what are the top 10 grammar mistakes. Of course, it'd be so difficult to say top 10, but in experience, having assessed so many exam sheets, thousands of them, uh, I can say that there are some mistakes that stand out the most, some that are quite common, and I've tried putting those mistakes in today's lesson. So, welcome once again and by the way, today we're starting the session at 9 p.m., which is all the more great because having taken feedback from a lot of students, they're more comfortable with 9. Some of you did mention 8:30 as well. So we'll keep updating you whenever the time changes. But welcome once again, 9 p.m. I hope students are more comfortable with this time. Before we get started, I want to show you what are the mistakes that we're going to be looking at in this lesson. There are 10 mistakes, and these are all the mistakes, by the way. These are not the correct versions. These are 10 mistakes that people make when it comes to the IELTS writing. It could be IELTS speaking as well, but these kinds of sentences you end up writing either in IELTS writing task 1 or for that matter, writing task 2. And that's exactly what we're going to be looking at. You should not make these mistakes. We will look at what is the correct answer and the reason behind it as well. So, are you guys ready? If you're with me and you're there in the lesson, give me a big heart or a big thumbs up. Hi, Aman. Hi, guys. All right. Just very quickly, there's another something special about today's lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to be sharing with you something called the memory tip. One more time, what do we call it? Memory tip. In this tip, I was making this lesson in the afternoon today, and I thought, what should I name this tip? It's called the 3-second tip. In this lesson, towards the end, we're going to be looking at the 3-second tip as well. We're going to be working towards it in for the next 15 to 20 minutes. The idea is to help you in basically short span of time and give you the most important thing that matters on IELTS, which is your grammar, a very important component. Okay. So for those of you who are teachers watching, please do have a look. There's a special dual certification program that is going on for teachers, which is IELTS Masterclass with Teaching Excellence. The link of it is available in the description below. So those of you who want to teach IELTS and be certified for it with an international certification, you can tap on the link in the description below to get all of these details from the counselors for your kind perusal. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so how are we going to move forward in this lesson? I'm going to show you the mistake, the grammar mistake, and then after that, I will ask you, what do you think is the right answer? So put your answers in the live chat, or if you're watching this lesson later, put your answer or your guess in the comments below. It doesn't matter if the answer is right or if the answer is wrong. What matters is participation and self-assessment, most importantly. In the end, I will also show you the reason behind it as well, why the answer is correct. Should you have any questions during the session, please feel free to ask. All right, shall we get started? Here we go. Let's begin. So the first mistake of the day is read it out loud with me. Numbers dropped dramatically between 2000 to 2005. What do you think is the mistake in this sentence? Numbers dropped dramatically between 2000 to 2005. This sentence seems absolutely correct. There's nothing wrong with this sentence. Put your guess in the live chat. What do you think would be an appropriate correction for this sentence? Hi, Ishwarya. Hi, Mary. To, from. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your answers. Anybody else? Okay, watch out. Here we go. Here we go. So the problem with this sentence is related actually to the word to here. Now, some people may say from, some people may say to, good. But what is the correct answer? Have a look. The correct answer is numbers drop dramatically between 2000 and 2005. What is the reason? Why do we not use to? Because it seems like a nice and appropriate progression. Do examiners really look at such minute details as well? Ladies and gentlemen, yes, they do. And this is a very common preposition mistake. Okay? So, what is the correct answer? What do you think? Thanks, Priya. Thanks, English with Emmy. Why do you think that is the answer? The reason is between, whenever you use the word between, it is always followed by, to and not and. Always remember it. So the rule is whenever you use the word between, and you're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, even if it is 2 years, whatever it is, always use and. Extremely important. When I was making the lesson, I thought I'm going to do a little bit of research as well to see uh, what is available on the internet just to collect the most common mistakes. I did not find it anywhere. And I thought it's very important for me to include it in this lesson. Okay? Priya, you've come after a long time. Welcome back. So that's mistake number one. If you understood this, give me a big thumbs up. Let me know in the live chat if you understood this. Let's look at mistake number two. Ready? Here is mistake number two. There are shortages of language teachers in all levels. It looks right. Correct? What do you think is the right answer here? What is the mistake? There are shortages of language teachers in all levels. Looks appropriate to me. Then why do students lose marks in this sentence? Because the correct answer is you do not say in, you say at all levels. One more time. You do not say in all levels, ladies and gentlemen. You say at all levels. But you may wonder, Mary says shortage. Thank you, Mary. Nonetheless, but you may wonder, why do you think that is an incorrect answer? Does anybody have a reason, an explanation in the live chat? The reason is, listen carefully. Whenever you talk about hierarchies, the CEO, big level, and then the level smaller, and then smaller than the second one, and then the smallest. So whenever you're talking about hierarchy, or levels for that matter, or stages for that matter, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that we use at and not in the levels. It is at level. So at is used for levels or stages in a hierarchy. One more time. At is used for levels and stages in a hierarchy. For example, when we say, what level are you? You don't say, I'm in beginner level. You say, I am at beginner level. So one more time, just to recap, whenever moving forward, if you have to talk about either stages or you have to talk about hierarchy from top to bottom or bottom to top, doesn't matter, you have to use at and not in. So we say at a personal level or at a personal level, but they're both same, right? I heard on a personal level. On a personal level. But yes, if you're talking about hierarchy and stages, once again, then at, otherwise not in this context. We're talking about the difference between these two particularly. So what we'd follow? At. Okay. So this was mistake number 3. Number 2. We're now going to be looking at mistake number 3. Let's have a look. So the sentence is, the graph shows the average rates of pay in workers in 4 key industries. Okay. So what do you think is the correct answer here? In 4 key industries. Of workers. Thank you. Thank you. What about other people? In 4 key industries. Yes, it's very important to understand what the sentence is trying to say as well. Here, the correct version is, the graph shows the average rates of pay for workers, basically for who? For workers, not of workers. A lot of students make this extremely common mistake, and they say, for example, to associate something with somebody, they say of workers, of teachers, of students. But in this context, you're talking about for whom is it for? So in this context, we say for workers, not of workers. But what is the reason? Why is it? Why do you think? I want to ask you a simple question. Whenever you're writing a sentence, which means talking about intention for that matter, intended. What is something intended for the party? So, whenever it is about who is it for, what is it intended for, we do not say of students or of workers, we say for workers. Once again, for workers. So, the correct answer is for workers. For here shows rates are intended for workers, they're not of workers, because it may otherwise means that workers have given a rate for themselves. For example, I give a rate of Krish's rate, it is for Krish's rate. I mean, just to sort of give you the association how it really works. Okay? Extremely important. Next time, if you're talking about something that is intended for something, then use for, not to. Okay? Yes, it can be a little bit worrisome for some people. I see that not a lot of people are able to put the answers. Guys, it doesn't matter if the answer is right or wrong. Try to participate, because what are we famous for at Cambridge Veritas when we have these live sessions on YouTube? Active participation. All right? Learning by doing, LBD, learning by doing. So make sure to put your answers. It'd be fun. So this was mistake number 3. Number 4. Women occupy only 5% senior posts in the banking sector. Very important. What do you think is the correct answer? Okay, let me tell you something. Let me give you a hint. There's one word that is missing in this sentence. And I've seen a lot of students making this mistake. I repeat, there's one word that is missing in this sentence. Which one do you think it is? What would be the correct answer? Thank you, Priya. You see, here we are with a session on articles and preposition. So what do you think is the right answer here, guys? So the correct one is, women occupy only 5% of because you have to connect the association here. Yeah, so it is of senior posts in the banking sector. Why? What is the reason here? Just to tell you, if you write it like this, it is correct as well. This sentence is right even like this as well. But to make sure that you not leave any stone unturned, because you do not know what kind of examiner you would have. If the examiner is truly particularly pedantic, that is particular about grammar, they may deduct your mark because you've not used of here. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're talking about association of a percentage with something, here you'd have to write off. Okay. So, what is the reason? This sentence is correct as is as well. But just to make sure we do not leave any stone unturned whilst we are writing grammatically correct sentences, of is the proper preposition to be used in this context to show association of percentage with the banking sector. Okay? Thank you. If you're enjoying the lesson, make sure to like the lesson if you're learning something new, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel as well so that you do not miss any lessons that we have at 9 p.m. every day. Okay? Alrighty. Sentence number 5. Please have a look. Come on, guys. I'm the only one doing it. Hello? Where are you? Is it only one-sided love story? Hello? We got to work together. So the sentence is London University came top in the survey at a 75% approval rating. What do you think is wrong? Or what do you think is right? Hi, Shivanshi. Hello. Thank you, Priya. See, Priya is also requesting all of us. 11 people watching, and only Priya is the only one commenting. Now, Shivanshi has joined. Good. It's okay. The most beautiful thing is that we celebrate our mistakes at Cambridge Veritas. Our YouTube family here, we're all friends and we appreciate the mistake. The idea is to make sure if your answer was right, imagine the kind of achievement you'd feel. And if it was wrong, you'd have the sense of self correction, which is great as well. Yeah. All right, guys, let's stick to it. Thank you. What do you think is the correct answer? Thank you. Yes, Priya, you were missed by everyone. Thank you. All right. The correct sentence is London University came top in the survey with, I repeat, please have a look, with a 75% approval rating. So we do not say at a 75% approval rating, we say with a 75% approval rating. Just bear with me. I'm just going to. I always remember connecting the charger once the lesson started. So why do you think that is the correct answer? Why do we say with instead of at? Why with instead of at? You're talking about ratings. And what is ratings in this context? It is association, some sort of association. Okay. So whenever you're talking about association or accompaniment or association with a number, percentage, etc., we always use with instead of at. So the correct answer is with a 75% approval rating, not at a 75%. It's not a particular stage or hierarchy, remember? So it is association of a number, which is percentage, which is with a 75% increase, something like that. Yeah. So along those lines, remember percentages associated with something are always used with the preposition with, not at. Okay, thank you. So that is number 5. We have 10 mistakes in total. We're now going to be looking at mistake number 6. This is a question. What proportion the overall budget is spent on training? What do you think is the right answer? There's one word missing, and it is a similar mistake that we looked at before as well. Thank you, Shantanu. Can we use achieving? KDBIR, sorry, I do not understand what you mean. Could you elucidate? Because of the numerical data, absolutely. Thank you. What about other people? Thank you, Nagashri. Wonderful. So Nagashri's told us the correct answer here. It is what proportion of the overall budget is spent on training. So the correct answer is of, proportion of. Why is that? What is the reason? Because whenever we talk about proportions, of is the preposition. Of is used to indicate a part of the whole. So for example, imagine this is the proportion. And of this, you're only talking about, let's say, this part. So when you're talking about only this part, ladies and gentlemen, you have to use of because it talks about part of the whole that there is. We're only talking about this slice, this part. So supremely important, okay? Thank you. Lovely. So that was mistake number 6. Last 4 mistakes left. And they might as well, could just be related to prepositions, okay? What are prepositions, by the way? Words that tell the position of something. So for example, the pen is on my hand. So on is telling the position of pen on my hand, right? So these kinds of words are called preposition. I hope it helps. Let's move on. Number 7, please have a look. Sea levels are estimated to be rising in a rate of 1.8 millimeters per year. What is the problem with this sentence? Number 7. This should be easy, come on. At, very good. Priya has told us the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen. So it is sea levels are estimated to be rising at a rate of 1.8 mm per year. Why is that? Thank you, Priya. Why is that? Anyone? Can anyone help Priya or me? So have a look here. Whenever you're talking about manner of rising, when something's rising, whenever you're talking about manner of rising, and the right vocabulary that you're using for is a rate. I repeat, a rate. Remember, before this, always, always, always we use at. Manner of rising, manner of decreasing, that's fine as well. Whenever you use the phrase rate, a rate, it is at a rate, not in a rate. Never on in a rate. And I think that's what I've mentioned here as well. Please have a look. Why? Because we always add at before the phrase a rate to properly express the manner of rising, how it is rising. Understood, everyone? How's the lesson going? I hope it's not too fast. I hope it's not too slow either. Thank you. KDBIR is right. Android Games, please do let us know your name so that we can refer to you with your name. Thank you. Alrighty, let's move on. So this is mistake number 8, third last mistake. The research compared the data. By the way, this is data or data, not data. It is data. One more time, repeat after me. Data. So it compared the data of London, Paris, and New York. So what is the right answer? Thank you, Priya. Wonderful. Shivanshi, Nagashri, where are you guys? Aman, Ishwarya, Mary, English with ME. Where's everyone? You guys were doing great in the beginning. Whenever you're talking about a source, an origin of something, I repeat, whenever you're talking about either a source, something that, for example, I was born in Delhi. So when somebody asks you, where are you from? So from as in is the source, and that's what the correct answer is as well here. So it is. The research compared the data from London, Paris, and New York. Why? Because the research is we're talking about the source of the research. So whenever you talk about source or the origin of something, you always use from. Okay, that's what the answer is as well. Use from instead of when indicating the source or origin of the data or anything for that matter. So if somebody asks you, where are you from? You'd say, you'd not say, I am of New Delhi. You'd say, I am from New Delhi, MP, Mumbai, Calcutta, etc., etc. Something to bear in mind. Okay. Second last sentence. If you're enjoying the lesson and if you're new to our wonderful community, this wonderful family that participates every day on live chat, make sure to subscribe and like the lesson. Okay? And share it with your colleagues or friends who may be struggling with their grammar. Okay, number 9 it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. La de la de la. 3/4 customers spent $10 or less. Again, just to answer simply, there's one word that is missing in the sentence. So what do you think what that word is? Sheikh is here as well. Lovely. Compared to the data. Thank you, Nagashri. That was one. Thank you, Masroor. Hi, Hasmat. Facts says of facts. What is your name? Let us know. Thank you. Shivanshi says of customers. Okay. Shivanshi, you are 100% right. Lovely. Clappings. Superb. 3/4 off. Masroor, you're right as well. So it is 3/4 off customers once again. Whenever you want to properly indicate the portion, once again, it is similar to exactly what we'd mentioned before as well. You use the word, my lovely YouTube family, you use the word off. Okay. So we're doing a lot of off today, but it's quite legit as well because students just miss it so many times. And because of that, your sentence may look absolutely appropriate as well. But eventually, what happens? You lose a mark on it. Okay. So better to be cognizant of that. All right. Thank you. Salman is okay. Thank you, Salman. KDBR, let us know your name as well. Thank you. You are right. Super. Masroor, Shivanshi, KDBR, Salman. Perfect. Priya, super. And the last sentence of the lesson is the last sentence is here. The chart shows rates in pay in urban and rural areas. Thank you for letting me know, Priya. The chart shows rates in pay in urban and rural area. What is happening in the sentence? You're actually connecting two things. I repeat, listen carefully. You're actually connecting two things. Two things. What are those two things? Rates and pay. One more time. You're connecting rates and pay. So to connect it better, what do you say? Rates in pay. Seen something wrong with it. Yes, you're right. Thank you. Priya is right here. Thank you, Shivanshi. Rates in rates of pay. Rates of pay. Once again, why? Because we are adding off for a very simple reason. After rate, we have to properly connect it with the word pay. So not rates in pay. It doesn't even make any sense. It's rates of pay. What do you say? What is your rate of pay? It's not rate in pay. Simply speaking, as well, when somebody is asking you, for example, one time service, let's say you're taking a lesson from, um, let's say, the lessons are, the payment is per lesson. There are so many providers like that, right? So, what do you say? What is your rate of pay, not rate in pay? Isn't it? Yeah. Cool. Lovely. So, this is the end of the 10 sentences that I wanted to give you. I hope these sentences helped you to understand what to do and what not to do and what you have to avoid at all costs. Okay? So there's that. But there's something special today. I want to give you some practice for writing task 1. IELTS writing task 1. So what I'd like you to do is, this is the practice, ladies and gentlemen. Take a picture of it. I'll give you some space on the screen. I have some words here, and I have these 3 paragraphs. What I'd like you to do is use these words above and put these words in the blank spaces here. Why am I asking you to do that? It will help you improve your vocabulary for IELTS writing task. Listen carefully. Hello, bello. Hello, bello. Listen. It'll help you use these words in context to learn it better, how to talk about different things, comparisons, proportions, trends for IELTS writing task 1, especially particularly useful for that. You can put your answers in the live chat, or, I mean, you don't have to do it right now, or you can do it later and let me know your answers in the comments. When you tell me your answers in the comments, I'll give you feedback. I'll reply with the feedback. Okay, so make sure if you want feedback, feel free to practice. Okay, I told you that I'm going to be giving you one personal tip related to how to memorize prepositions. What is the memory tip for IELTS success? And the name of this tip is, it's called the 3-second rule. What do we call it? Repeat after me. It's called 3-second rule. Why do we have this rule? So many students forget these grammar rules that we've just spoken about. So in the next 5 minutes, I will tell you what you need to keep in mind. And if you keep that in mind, you will never make these grammar mistakes ever again. Okay? So whenever you write a sentence, I want you to pause for just 3 seconds. I repeat, I want you to pause for just 3 seconds and ask yourself, what small word connects with my ideas? I repeat, this is a very important question. What small word as in of, and, at, these are words of preposition, right? What is that one word that connects my idea better? So the quick method is, for example, whenever you're talking about data or number, listen carefully. Whenever you're talking about data or number, for example, you're using the word between, always use and, not to. Between 2001 to 2010, eh, incorrect English. Between 2000 and 2010. If you write to, examiner is going to deduct your mark full-fledgedly. Okay? That's number one. Point number one that you need to remember. We discussed it right in the beginning of the lesson today. Number two, if you're talking about levels or positions for that matter, hierarchy, stages, always say at, not in. Always use at. But what if you're talking about rates or percentages? We did it in the lesson in the beginning. What do you think we say? We can use two things here. Either you can say rate of something, not rate in something. Okay? Or for that matter, at a rate. Remember, rising level, at a rising level. So we use either at a rate or rate of something. Okay? But what if you're comparing two things? Imagine you're comparing your height and my height. I'm 6 feet tall, and your height, whatever. So, or for that matter, you're comparing the source of something. I think that'd be a better example to give. You're talking about the source of something. So always use where did the data come from, not the research. The research is of India or New York or Paris. Because you're talking about the origin, you say the research is from, and then the name of the city or the place, wherever that is from. If you've understood this, give me a big heart in the live chat. I repeat, give me a big heart in the live chat. Thank you. Or show me a thumbs up. The next slide is the last slide to remember. What if you're talking about, have a look, proportions of something? I repeat, proportions of something. So, for example, this pen is off this screen. So, it is a part of it. So, what do we say? We use the word off. We always add off, proportion of the budget, pen of the screen. So, part of the whole, basically. I repeat, part of the whole. What if you're talking about, so this one's done. So finally, the last bit that I want you to remember is the moment you miss simple words like off, at, in, it basically goes to show that you're able to frame correct sentences, but you are not worth 7.5. The examiner will reduce your mark and will possibly give you a 6.5 because of that. And you may think, does it really matter just because of one word? Yes, of course. Read the band descriptors. If you read the band descriptors, you'd see that your grammar is fine, but you end up making frequent errors with prepositions. And because of that, you're not 7.5. You've written very good, but you stoop down to 6.5. So that's very, very important. Missing or wrong prepositions can drop your grammar score from band 7 to band 6 for that matter. These tiny words matter hugely when it comes to IELTS marking. So there's one very interesting thing that I've written here for you. It's called, the practice mantra is small words, big impact. Repeat after me. Small words, big impact. So always check your preposition. Okay? Thank you so much. In case you're new to our channel and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure that you do. Don't miss the lessons at 9 p.m. If you're preparing for IELTS or for that matter, other exams as well, because these grammatical components can be used almost everywhere. Time for takeaways. Can you tell me, what did you learn in today's lesson? I repeat, what did you learn in today's lesson? What is that one thing, if you have to tell me, is your takeaway? You've been watching the lesson for the last 20, 30 minutes maybe. What is that one thing that you found valuable? Tell me in the live chat, please. Thank you. Thank you, Priya Hasmat. Facts. Lovely. Priya says, could you please shed some light on the and no article to in IELTS writing? I think we could have a lesson on it, yes. But just to quickly answer, the is particularly used when you're talking about something in particular, something that is special. Uh, I want an apple means give me any apple, any one apple. I want apples on the table. That means I only want apples that are particularly on table. So the basically shows specificity of something. Hasmut says, too late. What do you mean by that? Thank you. Quickly, what did you learn in today's lesson? Thank you. If you want extra practice, I'm going to make sure that the Veritas team keeps on putting this extra practice on the WhatsApp channel. So, in case you're not connected, please feel free to. The link of the WhatsApp channel is in the description below. Tomorrow, as we join in, we're going to be looking at, have a look, common mistakes with spelling. Once again, common IELTS writing mistakes, but with spellings. We're going to be looking at that. Okay. If you are a teacher who's preparing for teaching IELTS, but you're not certified yet, and you're looking for the right training, ladies and gentlemen, please do have a look. Cambridge Veritas is providing dual certifications for teachers. You not only get the certificate of an IELTS master trainer, but at the same time, teaching excellence as well. There are discounts going on that you can get to know more about connecting with the counselors using the link in the description. The discount code is CV Live. Okay. And in case you're preparing for IELTS, which is your exam in the imminent future, perhaps, you could use this lesson, which is IELTS Writing Task 1 and 2, where there are some other concepts related to grammatical mistakes that we've covered, common mistakes. So I'm sure that'll help. Okay. Thank you. CPD webinar stands for Career and Professional Development. Shivanshi, thank you for asking this question. It is career and professional development. Priya says, I learned the right usage of preposition, especially for and of. Thank you. Missed today's notification, no problem. So from today onwards, we're starting the sessions at 9. Many students requested for 8:30 as well. But because of the difference in times that we have, you're in India, I'm in the UK, most of you. So we just need to adjust it better. Yeah. Priya says, could you please add some aspects of connected speech if you're handling IELTS speaking lessons? Certainly. Thank you for letting us know. That's okay, Shivanshi. So from tomorrow onwards, it is 9 p.m. With this, thank you for attending today's lesson. I hope you learned something new. Tomorrow, another lesson, another important day. Common IELTS mistake, IELTS writing mistakes and spellings is what we're going to be covering tomorrow. God bless. Take care. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.